All right, guys, in this video, we are going to take a look at the process of what I call putting a hat on a vector, and also to see if we can find a vector in the same direction as a given vector with a given length or opposite direction. So first, let me go over the process of putting a hat on a vector. So the first thing we need to do, so when I say putting a hat on a vector, I mean finding a vector with a unit length. So this is unit length. What does that mean? It means length of 1. So the notation is going to be v with the hat. So I put in a hat, meaning that the new length is going to be 1. So in order to find it, the first step is to find the magnitude of v. So to find the magnitude of v, you need to square root, take the first component of v, square it, plus the second component of v, square that, and add them up. Notice how the second component of v was negative, but I did not include the negative in there. The reason why I don't recommend doing that is because people don't sometimes understand that they should put parentheses if they are including negative. This is what's supposed to happen. So there is a difference between -3 squared, which is just 9 if the -3 is surrounded by parentheses, and negative of 3 squared, which is not does not have parentheses, so the square will happen first and then a negative. So this will be -9. So there is a difference. And so you definitely do not want any negatives in there, because when you square things, the negatives will drop out. So right here, again, I would recommend just dropping the negative sign, and then you just get 3 squared. So this will be square root of 4 plus 9, which is square root of 13. So this is the magnitude of vector v. Now I want to put a hat on it. In other words, making it length of 1. What do I do for that? Well, I need to divide each component by the magnitude. So I will get 2 divided by square root of 13, and then I would get -3 divided by square root of 13. Okay, how do I know this new vector has unit length? So when we say unit length, it means length of 1. Well, I can find the magnitude of v with the hat. All right, this was not supposed to be a straight one. This was supposed to be a hat. So the way I would do it, I would take the square root, and then I would square the first component plus square of the second component. Again, I do not need the negative. So what would that give me? So you can see that this is going to be 4 over 13 plus 9 over 13. But that is just 13 over 13. And so that's square root of 1. And which, of course, it is equal to 1. So I'm not going to always check it, but just so you believe me that that's what happens. Now, the next part is, what if I don't want a vector with length of 1? What if I want a vector with length of 5? So if it's 5, all I have to do is just multiply the v with the head by 5. So how do I do that? I just multiply each component by 5. So I'm going to get 10 divided by square root of 13, and 5 times -3 would be -15 divided by square root of 13. So you can check that if you were to compute the magnitude of it, you will see that that's going to be 5. And I'm not changing direction. Direction is still the same. Now, if it says opposite direction, and now it wants length of 3. If it's opposite direction, you would make it a -3v with the hat. So you're multiplying each component of v with the hat by -3 this time. So why negative? Because this should have opposite direction. So this will become -6 divided by square root of 13. And then -3 times -3 will be +9 divided by square root of 13.